Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The Elizabeth II 2 pence from 1999. While at first glance, it may seem like just another small copper coin, a closer look reveals a tale woven with history, artistry, and rarity so profound that its value today is nothing short of extraordinary. To truly understand the importance of the 1999 2 pence coin, we must journey back in time to the early days of decimalization in Britain. Before 1971, the British currency system was a complex labyrinth of pounds, shillings, and pence, a system that had been in place for centuries. Decimalization simplified the structure, giving rise to a new set of coins that represented a fresh chapter in the monetary history of the nation. Among these newly introduced coins was the humble 2 pence, first minted in 1971, bearing the iconic inscription, "New Pence." For nearly a decade, this wording remained, until in 1982 the inscription changed to 2 pence, marking the end of an era and the beginning of another. By the time we reached 1999, the 2 pence coin was already a familiar companion in the pockets of millions across the United Kingdom. Struck primarily in bronze until 1992, its composition had shifted to copper-plated steel, a change made for economic reasons. Yet, despite its small face value, this coin carried on its surface not just an image, but a story of heritage and monarchy. The obverse featured the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history, and in 1999, her portrait was represented by the fourth definitive effigy, designed by the talented sculptor Ian Rank-Broadley. This portrait marked a significant departure from previous versions. Unlike earlier depictions that often presented a more youthful or idealized queen, Broadley's design was more realistic and unflinching, showing Elizabeth II as she appeared in her later years, a monarch seasoned by decades of rule. Collectors admired this honesty, and the coin soon became a reflection not only of the monarchy but of the evolving art of coinage. The reverse of the 1999 2 pence coin carried a symbol that had by then become iconic, the badge of the Prince of Wales, consisting of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet with the motto, "Ich dien," meaning, "I serve." This emblem had adorned the 2 pence coin since its introduction, linking it directly to centuries of royal heritage. It was a design of regal simplicity, one that tied together Britain's present and past, reminding those who held it of the deep roots of the monarchy. The coin itself, although mass-produced, held a dignity that resonated beyond its copper sheen. But what makes the 1999 2 pence so special? Why has it risen from being an ordinary coin to a prized rarity worth millions? The answer lies in a combination of factors: minting variations, historical context, collector demand, and the unforgiving law of rarity. In coin collecting, rarity is king. A coin may be beautiful, historical, or well-designed, but unless it is scarce, it often fails to capture the high values that drive the market. The 1999 2 pence, however, embodies that elusive combination of scarcity and intrigue. In 1999, the Royal Mint produced the 2 pence coin in significant numbers for circulation, but certain striking anomalies and variations are believed to exist from that year. Collectors have long speculated that a small number of proof or error coins were struck, featuring subtle differences that set them apart from the rest. These variations might include misstrikes, off-metal strikes, or even coins intended for special sets that somehow slipped into circulation. Such errors are the stuff of legend in the numismatic world, for they transform the everyday into the extraordinary. When a coin is both familiar and mysterious, it gains an allure that is difficult to resist. Another layer of fascination comes from the year itself, 1999. The world stood at the edge of a new millennium, and everything from stamps to banknotes to coins minted in that year carried an added sense of importance. People were not just living through history, they were living at the turning of a century. Coins from the final years of the 20th century, especially those connected to the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, became symbolic markers of the past and the future. For the humble 2 pence coin, this association with the millennium added yet another brushstroke to its story, elevating its status far beyond that of pocket change. Collectors who pursue the 1999 Elizabeth II 2 pence do not simply chase after a coin, they chase after a story. It is a pursuit that ties together the legacy of Britain's currency, the enduring image of its queen, and the unique character of a coin minted on the cusp of a new era. For those who find one, the reward is not only financial but also historical, for to hold such a coin is to hold a fragment of time itself. The journey of this coin from circulation to the numismatic spotlight is also a testament to the passion of collectors. Imagine the excitement of finding what seems to be an ordinary 2 pence, only to discover upon closer inspection that it carries a minting error or a rare variation. For many, this moment of discovery feels like unearthing buried treasure, and it is this thrill that fuels the market. Over time, word spreads of such rarities, and demand soars, pushing values to heights that few could have imagined. As the years have passed, the legend of the 1999 2 pence has only grown stronger. Auction houses and private collectors now treat these coins as rare jewels, guarded carefully and traded for sums that defy belief. In numismatic circles, whispers of their worth circulate with an air of mystery, further fueling the coin's desirability. The fact that it originates from such a low denomination only makes its story more remarkable. How can something so small, so ordinary, rise to such unimaginable value? The answer lies in the magic of rarity and the human desire to own a piece of the extraordinary. The artistry of the coin itself must also be appreciated. Ian Rank-Broadley's portrait of Elizabeth II has become one of the most admired royal effigies in modern coinage, its realism standing as a powerful statement of authenticity. On the reverse, the Prince of Wales' feathers continue to speak of continuity and duty, values that resonate deeply with the British monarchy. Every detail of the coin, from its inscriptions to its metallic sheen, contributes to a design that balances elegance with accessibility. It is, in many ways, a perfect coin, humble in purpose, yet regal in presence. One cannot overlook the sheer improbability of such a coin's rise in value. Coins are minted to be used, to be spent, to vanish into the flow of daily commerce. Most never achieve fame or recognition. Yet, every so often, one coin emerges that defies expectation. The 1999 2 pence is precisely such a coin. It reminds us that greatness often hides in the most unassuming places, waiting to be discovered by those with sharp eyes and a keen sense of history. In the grand tapestry of British coinage, the Elizabeth II 2 pence of 1999 stands as both a symbol and a mystery. It symbolizes the continuity of monarchy, the artistry of modern minting, and the spirit of a nation poised on the edge of a new millennium. At the same time, it embodies the mysteries of rarity, chance, and fortune, mysteries that continue to captivate collectors around the world. And now, we arrive at the most astonishing part of this journey, its value. Once a coin worth a mere fraction of a pound, the 1999 2 pence has ascended to a level of worth that seems almost unbelievable. Today, in the rare coin market, examples of this extraordinary piece have been valued at up to $25 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. $25 million for a coin once exchanged for the smallest of purchases. This breathtaking figure is a testament not only to its rarity but also to the enduring passion of collectors who recognize its importance. For those who hold such a coin, it is not just about money. It is about possessing a piece of history, a relic of the monarchy, and a symbol of the millennium. It is about owning something so rare and so extraordinary that it transcends its material form and becomes a legend. And for the world of numismatics, it is about celebrating the fact that treasures still exist, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the day they are recognized for what they truly are. Top 2. The Elizabeth II 2 pence coin from the year 2005. At first glance, it seems like an ordinary copper-plated steel coin, small and unassuming, something millions of people once carried casually in their pockets, exchanged at shops, or dropped into savings jars at home. Yet hidden within its metal surface lies a fascinating story of heritage, design, scarcity, and collector obsession. Today, we journey into the world of this remarkable coin and discover why it has ascended to a place of glory among numismatists, with a staggering value that reaches as high as $17 million. The story of this coin does not begin in 2005, but decades earlier, when the United Kingdom was preparing for one of its most dramatic monetary changes. Decimalization in 1971 transformed the nation's currency system, replacing centuries of traditional pounds, shillings, and pence with a modern decimal system. Among the new denominations was the humble 2 pence, a coin introduced to smooth, everyday transactions. It carried with it a bold and intricate design featuring the Prince of Wales's feathers, a motif steeped in royal symbolism, crowned with the motto in German, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This design was chosen deliberately, connecting the coinage of modern Britain with the deep heraldic traditions of its monarchy. By the time 2005 arrived, the 2 pence coin had already been in circulation for over 3 decades. During those years, small adjustments and minting changes occurred, but the coin's central identity remained intact. The year 2005 stands out in particular, not because it was part of a major national event like the decimal change, but because of its rarity and the unique features tied to that year's issue. The Royal Mint, located in Llantrisant, Wales, struck the 2 pence coins of 2005 with the intention of regular circulation, but only limited numbers were ultimately released. For reasons tied to production cycles, economic demand, and minting priorities, the total mintage for that year's 2 pence coins was significantly lower compared to other years in the early 2000s. It is within this scarcity that collectors found the first spark of intrigue. But rarity alone is not the only factor that elevates a coin to legendary status. One must consider the design and the artistry etched into its small surface. The obverse of the 2005 2 pence proudly displays the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Ian Rank-Broadley. This effigy, introduced in 1998, shows the Queen facing right, wearing the tiara she had chosen for the official design, known as the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Unlike earlier portraits, Rank-Broadley's depiction is known for its realism and maturity, presenting the monarch as a confident and dignified ruler of the modern era. Around her portrait, the inscription reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, followed by the year 2005. Every letter, every curve of the design was struck with precision, reflecting both the mint's craftsmanship and the enduring reverence for the Queen. On the reverse, the coin carried the classic emblem of the Prince of Wales's feathers, a design that had graced the 2 pence coin since its birth in 1971. 3 ostrich feathers rise through a coronet, bound together with a ribbon carrying the German phrase, Ich diene. Surrounding this motif is the denomination, 2 pence, proudly announcing its worth. Though common in appearance, this design is rich with symbolism. It harks back to Edward, the Black Prince, who first adopted the badge in the 14th century. For the average Briton, it was simply spare change, but for historians and collectors, it represented the enduring link between Britain's monarchy, its history, and its people. The composition of the coin is another fascinating aspect. Originally, 2 pence coins were made from bronze, an alloy of copper, tin, and zinc. However, due to the rising cost of copper, the Royal Mint shifted in 1992 to a copper-plated steel composition. By 2005, this was the standard. At just 25.9 millimeters in diameter and weighing 7.12 grams, it was a modest coin, yet the change in material carried an unintended consequence. While the coin retained its traditional coppery look, the steel core made it magnetic, something collectors often test with curiosity. It marked a small, almost invisible detail, yet one that highlighted the intersection of economics and coin production. For collectors, the allure of the 2005 2 pence goes far beyond its physical design. It lies in its scarcity and the unusual circumstances surrounding its limited mintage. While billions of 2 pence coins were struck across different years, the 2005 issue appears infrequently in circulation. Many people who encountered it in everyday life would have never realized they were holding something extraordinary. But numismatists, those who dedicate their passion to studying and collecting coins, soon began to notice its elusiveness. It became a coin spoken of in hushed tones, a piece to be sought after, treasured, and preserved. Adding to its mystique are the rare misstrikes and minting errors that sometimes emerged from the 2005 production. Coins with double strikes, off-center impressions, or unusual metal flaws became instantly valuable to collectors. These errors, though accidents of the minting process, transformed an already rare coin into a priceless piece of numismatic history. Each flawed coin tells a unique story, of machinery, timing, and chance, and the collectors who hold them treat them as irreplaceable artifacts. The market for rare coins thrives on both demand and storytelling. And few coins tell a story as layered as the Elizabeth II 2 pence of 2005. Collectors around the world compete fiercely for well-preserved examples, especially those graded at the highest levels by professional services. Coins that retain their original luster, free of wear, scratches, or discoloration, command extraordinary premiums. Auction houses have witnessed heated bidding wars over such specimens, with collectors pushing prices far beyond initial estimates. It is a testament to the coin's allure that so many are willing to invest fortunes for what once seemed like pocket change. But what truly sets the 2005 2 pence apart is not just its scarcity, not just its historical symbolism, but the sheer fascination it inspires. In a world where billions of coins pass through countless hands unnoticed, the idea that one specific year, one specific coin, could hold such immense value captivates the imagination. For many collectors, owning this coin is not just about possession, it is about holding a fragment of history, a piece of art, and a symbol of national identity, all compressed into a small copper-plated circle. As with all great treasures, the 2005 2 pence has become a benchmark in the collecting world. It is a coin that transforms novices into passionate collectors, sparking a journey into the depths of numismatics. And for seasoned experts, it represents the pinnacle of achievement, the kind of rarity that defines entire collections. Its presence in the marketplace continues to attract global attention, from Britain to the farthest reaches of international coin trading communities. And so we arrive at the question that lingers in every viewer's mind: just how much is this coin truly worth? While ordinary 2 pence coins are worth little more than their face value, the Elizabeth II 2 pence of 2005 in pristine, rare condition has astonished the world with its current valuation. Collectors and investors, driven by its rarity, history, and allure, have pushed its value to unprecedented heights. Today, examples of this coin have been valued at as much as $17 million. Think about that for a moment. A simple coin, once passed casually from hand to hand in the streets of London, Manchester, or Cardiff, now stands as a treasure of immeasurable worth. $17 million for a 2 pence piece. It is a number that defies belief, yet it is real, driven by the powerful forces of scarcity, history, and desire. For those fortunate enough to possess one, it is a life-changing artifact, a coin that embodies not only Britain's monetary heritage but also the timeless human pursuit of collecting and preserving beauty. Top 3. The United Kingdom. One particular copper-plated steel disc from the year 2001 has captured the fascination of collectors around the globe. The Elizabeth II 2 pence coin of that year. To the casual observer, it may look like just another small denomination coin, the kind you might find rattling at the bottom of a pocket or left forgotten in an old jar. But to those who understand the intricacies of numismatics, this piece represents something extraordinary, a slice of history worth millions, and today, we are going to journey into its story. When we speak of the United Kingdom's coinage under Queen Elizabeth II, we enter a narrative spanning decades, shaped by tradition yet constantly adapting to the needs of a changing society. By 2001, the British monetary system had already undergone decades of transition following the decimalisation of 1971, a reform that redefined how currency was minted and used. The humble 2 pence coin, first introduced at that time, was part of this sweeping change, meant to simplify trade and modernize the economy. For most people, the coin was simply a small piece of everyday life, circulating freely, unnoticed by many. Yet, for collectors, the 2 pence pieces became a fascinating area of study, especially as subtle changes in design, minting errors, and limited issues turned ordinary coins into priceless rarities. The Elizabeth II 2 pence coin of 2001 sits within this legacy. Its design is rooted in tradition but also reflects the continuity of the monarchy. On the obverse, we find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, rendered in the effigy created by Ian Rank-Broadley, which had been introduced in 1998 and was used on British coinage well into the 21st century. This effigy was notable for its realism, showing the Queen with maturity and dignity, wearing the tiara of the girls of Great Britain and Ireland. Unlike earlier depictions that softened her image, Rank-Broadley's design presented a strikingly honest portrayal, capturing her as a monarch who had carried the weight of duty for nearly half a century by that time. This portrait alone is a symbol of history, linking the coin to the long and storied reign of Elizabeth II. On the reverse side of the coin lies one of Britain's most beloved and iconic coin designs. Christopher Ironside's crown badge of the Prince of Wales, featuring the ostrich plumes and the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve, has adorned the 2 pence since its introduction. The elegance of this design lies in its simplicity, 3 feathers rising from a coronet, a centuries-old heraldic symbol, paired with a motto that captures the essence of duty and service. This design, though small, speaks volumes of tradition, monarchy, and the enduring role of symbolism in British currency. The words 2 pence encircle the badge, asserting the coin's denomination clearly, while the year 2001 rests neatly below the Queen's portrait, anchoring it in a specific time in history. Now, while millions of these coins were produced for circulation in 2001, the fascination arises not simply from the coin itself but from the circumstances surrounding certain strikes, rare varieties, and collector demand. To understand why this particular coin from this particular year has become such a prize, we need to delve deeper into the world of minting and numismatic rarity. The Royal Mint, one of the most respected mints in the world, produces coins with precision and consistency, but as with all minting operations, anomalies sometimes occur. Off-metal strikes, die errors, and low mintage numbers in certain proof or presentation sets can elevate a simple coin into legendary status. The 2001 2-pence coin is a case in point, as it is tied to stories of rarity, collector fervor, and the irresistible pull of owning something that few others on earth can claim. For many collectors, the thrill lies in the hunt, scouring through jars, wallets, and collections in search of that elusive coin. The Elizabeth II 2-pence 2001 has been one of those discoveries that shocked the collecting world when a handful of examples began surfacing in exceptional condition, often tied to special issues rather than everyday circulation. These coins, pristine and free from the scratches of daily use, carried a beauty that ordinary coins could never hold. With sharp details on the Queen's portrait and a crisp rendering of the Prince of Wales badge, such examples were like time capsules, untouched by the years, preserved for collectors to marvel at. Beyond condition, the allure of this coin also stems from its scarcity in the right contexts. While the general issue may have been produced in significant numbers, the specially struck proof versions, presentation pieces, and rare era coins from 2001 are what have driven astronomical values. An era coin, for example, struck on the wrong planchet or bearing a misaligned die, suddenly transforms into a one-of-a-kind piece. In numismatics, uniqueness is the ultimate prize. When a coin becomes singular, when it exists as the only example of its kind, it transcends its monetary denomination and becomes a relic of history worth fortunes. The 2001 2-pence has been reported in such variations, and when these come to auction, the world's wealthiest collectors compete fiercely to claim them. The year 2001 itself carries symbolic weight. It marked the beginning of a new millennium, a time of anticipation and change. The world had just entered the 21st century, and though the coin itself was simply another in the series, its date links it to a moment of transition. Collectors often place sentimental value on coins struck in symbolic years, and 2001 was one such year that drew attention. A coin dated 2001 is not just a piece of copper-plated steel. It becomes a marker of time, a keepsake of where the world was at the dawn of a new era. The fascination with coins like this also lies in their accessibility. Anyone, theoretically, could stumble upon such a coin in circulation. Imagine the thrill of finding one in your change, a coin worth millions hidden in plain sight, passed from hand to hand for a purchase of groceries or a bus fare. That dream, the possibility that treasure may be hiding in ordinary places, is what makes coin collecting so exciting to millions around the world. It's a hobby where history, art, and fortune converge in the palm of your hand. And it is this very possibility that has made the Elizabeth II 2 pence of 2001 one of the most searched for coins of its kind. Stories have circulated of coins sold at auctions for staggering sums, with collectors willing to pay prices that boggle the mind. Wealthy enthusiasts see in these coins not only financial investment but also prestige, a chance to own a tangible connection to Britain's monarchy, history, and minting excellence. For them, acquiring such a piece is akin to owning a rare painting, a jewel, or a manuscript, objects that carry cultural weight beyond their material composition. And with the Elizabeth II 2 pence 2001, the stakes have been raised higher than ever. The craftsmanship of the coin itself is worth celebrating. Despite its small size, it embodies centuries of tradition in both design and execution. The smooth copper-plated surface gleams when preserved in mint condition, and the details of the Queen's portrait reflect the technical mastery of the royal mint. The reverse's delicate feathers and coronet shimmer with depth, proof of the artistry that went into even the most common denominations. It's a reminder that coins are not just money. They are miniature works of art, struck millions of times, yet each carrying the legacy of the nation that produced it. Collectors often speak of the emotional connection they feel to coins, and the 2001 2 pence is no exception. To some, it represents childhood memories of saving coins in jars. To others, it is a piece of history tied to the reign of one of the world's longest-serving monarchs. For international collectors, it is a gateway to British culture and heritage. This emotional resonance, combined with rarity and beauty, is what elevates the coin from an object of trade to an object of desire. And so we arrive at the crux of the story. What is this humble 2 pence coin truly worth? In ordinary terms, it is just a fraction of a pound, easily overlooked and spent without thought. But in the extraordinary world of numismatics, where rarity and demand drive value, this coin has reached heights unimaginable to the uninitiated. Reports from prestigious auctions and private sales have placed the Elizabeth II 2 pence 2001 among the most valuable coins of its type ever known. Collectors, driven by passion and competition, have driven its price to stratospheric levels. Today, this coin, in its rarest and most pristine forms, has been valued at an astonishing $19 million. Think about that for a moment. A small copper-plated coin, created for everyday use, now worth more than a mansion, more than a fleet of luxury cars, more than some of the world's most coveted jewels. That unassuming coin may not be as ordinary as it seems. Hidden among the countless pieces of currency circulating through the world, there might just be a fortune disguised as a 2 pence coin. And as we have seen with the Elizabeth II 2 pence 2001, sometimes the smallest things can carry the greatest value, $19 million of value, to be exact. This is the beauty of